come on in the room.
Hey, best friends.
Hey, best friends, come on in the room.
Oh,
Come on in the room.
Hello, everybody.
Look, as I sometimes say, come one, come all, come big, come small, baby. We are about to have a conversation for the nation. Shout out to Lottie Dottie and each and everybody. For those of you guys who are new to us, maybe you found our page somehow, and you have not seen us before. I am Candy Sincerity Johnson.
And I am Sean Johnson.
And together we do a whole lot of stuff in life and in business. But one thing we are known for over here, we're known for our e-commerce business, our women's fashion brand, which is Sincerity Johnson. And we're also known for me, my business coaching, or my look at what's going on in the world and giving my own commentary and my business and financial perspective on things.
Yes.
And baby, that's exactly what we showed up on tonight to do. Can you tap your neighbor and say, that's what we came to do on tonight?
That's what we came to do
Girl,
on tonight, okay?
Yeah. I don't know what you came to do, but I came to clap my hands, okay?
And stomp my feet.
I came to shout for joy. So, yes. So I'm going to quickly say hi to a couple of best friends, and then we're going to get into the conversation.
Okay.
Hey, Miss Jennifer, Miss Susie, Miss Abby, Miss Debbie, Miss Dana. Hey, everybody. Hey to all of our subscriber best friends. Shout out to all of you guys. We love each and every one of you guys. I know there's a lot of people that I didn't say hi to, but hi to each and every one of you guys.
Best friends, y'all are hilarious.
When I say the best friends is waiting, girl, listen.
We was waiting for this conversation.
Yes, girl, how many people sitting there with their roller sets and they snacks? Girl, y'all gonna be late for work in the morning fooling with us. Okay.
Girl, y'all don't value our opinion that much.
Yes, y'all don't value our opinion that much. You just, you just want to know a little bit about what we think.
Just a little piece of something.
So what we're gonna do, this is what we're gonna do. This is how it's gonna work in my mind, and let me know, wife, if you like to do it differently.
Okay.
How I think it's going to play out is, Sean, we're gonna give you a little bit of background. Just a little bit. You don't need a whole lot, because most people who hear, girl. We're gonna give you a little background. We're just gonna give you a little background. Okay? We're gonna give you a little background, and then I'm going to give commentary, because that's what I typically do.
Yes.
Sean give you the background, and then I typically give you the commentary.
Yes.
What is it, love of my life, that we're giving commentary and background on? What are we talking about on tonight?
So tonight we are just having a debrief, okay? We're going to be talking about the interview with Darius and Boss Lady that happened to have aired not too long ago on this evening, okay?
Yes.
So you know how you go to the family event and then y'all all pile into the car afterwards and everybody be like, girl, what you think?
Girl, what you think, girl? Did you hear when such and such said in the kitchen that blah, 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 blah happened? Yeah.
So that's what we come to do. We
Yes.
just come to have a conversation with you guys, our best friends, and just bounce some ideas off and just try to just break this thing down a little bit, okay?
Yes.
That's what we're going to do.
Before we go any further, it was laid upon me heart to say this. It was laid upon my heart. On our last video about this same topic, if you guys remember and if you guys seen it, we were sitting in the other room on our couch.
Yes.
Remember we were talking about all the drama and everything? When we had that last conversation, I made something abundantly clear, and let me reiterate it because somebody may have forgotten, okay? Just for good measure. One of the things I want to make abundantly clear is that Sean and I have not taken sides.
No.
A lot of you guys have taken snippets of what we said in the past, and people will get in the car and they will ride with that until they out of gas, okay?
Yeah.
So a lot of people are like, oh, Carmen, how dare you say X, Y, and Z, or whatever the case may be. And I stated, and I go on record stating in that last video, that I side with truth.
Yes.
Okay? I don't care who told it. I don't care who lied. I side with truth. I specifically said in that last video, I don't care if my mama lied. I don't care if my cousin lied. I don't care if my uncle lied. I think those was my exact words, okay? So what you may hear may be different than what you would expect to hear. It may be the same, but it may be different, but nonetheless, it's our version of what we feel like is likely the truth, okay? Truth is non-emotional. Over on this side of the table, we operate with facts, not with feelings, okay? There's a lot of people, they jump in the comments and they in their feelings. We operate over here with facts and not with feelings. Why? Because we look at these conversations that are very popular in the world, and we look at them from the financial and the money and the business lens of it all, okay? So in business, you know, you got to take your feelings out. Ain't no money involved. Get out your feelings, like I always say.
Exactly. Can I make our normal disclaimer, because I feel like it's necessary in this moment?
Sure.
Okay, so what we always like to say, especially when we know that it's a topic that is emotional, some people are really emotionally tied, we're not asking anybody to agree with what we say. However, if you're going to disagree with us or anyone in the comments, we just ask that you be respectful. Yeah. That's the only ground rules that we have over here. You can disagree, you can put why you feel that way, etc. But as long as you stay respectful with it, you can stay. That's all.
Buckle up, Buttercup. You're in for a ride. Let's go. Now, okay, so let's start with this. Let me ask you this, and you guys, best friends, chime in the comments, because I would like to know your perspective, okay? There was an interview that was done. This interview theoretically could have happened months ago when this whole thing jumped off. Why is it, from your perspective, and yours too, best friends, why is it that you think that Darius did the interview with her, and why now?
So I personally feel like, I don't know any details as far as like, you know, courts and stuff like that. I personally feel like the reason why it was done now is probably because Karina, to me, seems like very business oriented. So I feel like she was probably being tight-lipped for most of it until whatever court proceedings were done. Now, I didn't look up no court documents. I didn't look to see when the case was dismissed. I didn't look to see if they were still in litigation. I don't know. I'm just saying, to me, that's what it seems like. Okay. That perhaps everything with the suits and lawsuits and things like that, perhaps that has now been laid to rest. And so now she's like, now I can publicly speak. That's what I think.
Okay. All right.
You don't agree?
No, I think the court documents or the court case has a lot to do with it. But I also think that there was a different agenda. There was a different motive.
What do you think?
So for me, this is just a business perspective, and I could be on base or I could be completely off base. So as I'm giving you guys this as a nugget or as something to consider, know this. I have not talked to Darius, neither has Sean. I have not talked to Karina, neither has Sean. I have not talked to Carmen, neither has Sean. I have not talked to Tay, neither has Sean. I've not talked to anybody involved, okay? We've been over here minding our own business, doing our thing, but this is what's trending, so this is what we will talk about, okay? And it's very interesting, make no mistake about it.
Right.
So with all that being said, the business perspective that I have is, it appears, now I could be far off base, but it appears that regardless of what's said, right, wrong, or indifferent, Carmen was driving majority of the revenue into I Got You Seasonings. Okay? Get out your feelings. Ain't no money there. Right. Carmen, one thing that everybody has consistently said since the very beginning is Carmen know how to build a brand. She know how to get the people excited, and she know how to get that cash register on Shopify dinging.
Okay.
And so I feel like there was a dip. I don't know if there was a dip. I can't prove there was a dip. Nobody told me there was a dip. But it seems like there could have been a dip in revenue since all of this has happened. So it feels like, from my perspective, the purpose of the interview was twofold. Maybe even more. But at least one purpose was a win-back opportunity. A win-back opportunity in business is this. Something dramatic has happened in your business, and you had an influx of business that ran out the door, right? The owner died, somebody leave the company, whatever the case may be. There was a lot of people that ran out the door. What was the interruption here? The interruption here was a lot of people got blocked. A lot of people were turned off by all of the drama, etc., right? So there was a decline in business. There was a decline in revenue. And so in my mind, I could see Karina sitting there trying to figure out, what can I do, right? But you have to deal with reality, right? Reality is Karina is excellent in business, but she's not real comfortable in front of the camera. She's an amazing person, amazing business person. She's outstanding. She's second to none at what she does.
Absolutely.
But the danger is they built a business off of a personal brand that majority of the revenue is driven from a person's social media presence. So when you extract that person's social media presence from the equation, you're automatically going to see a dip in revenue, right? Now, back to what you said with the court case. the court case is over, right? Or I don't know, maybe the court proceedings is over or whatever, but the time has now allowed her to be able to publicly speak about the situation. And so I don't know who initiated the interview. That would certainly be a question that I would ask if I was in the room. Who initiated the interview and how did all of this come about? Did Karina, again, because these individuals, they know each other. They know each other. Did Karina pick up the phone and say, hey, Darius, this is what's going on. I need a little bit of help. And Darius say, hey, you know, let's do it. Because here's what we have, right? The followers of Carmen, a lot of those same people follow Darius. So what you have is you have what's called a crossover audience, right? You have a lot of the same people. Now, even before Carmen's old page was deleted, Darius unequivocally had a larger audience. But much of that audience is still what's called crossover, right? Back in the 60s and the 70s when they was doing R&B music, that was called the chitlin circuit, okay? You see what I'm saying? There's a lot of crossover though. And so with that crossover, with all of the people that were blocked off Carmen's page and all of the people that were blocked off Tay's page and all of the thousands of people that have been made angry and left or just completely unfollowed on their own, you have to consider something. Would it make sense to get back in front of the people as the new face of the brand, Karina? Would it make sense to do an interview and tell your side of the story so that you can now soften that relationship with some of the people that left? Would it make sense to do it on his platform where majority of these people are and are very, very active? And would it make sense for both parties to create a win-win opportunity? There has to be something in it for all parties. In business, we look at something called WIFM. WIFM. What's WIFM? What's in it for me? What's in it for me? So we know what's in it for Karina, but at the end of the interview, they alluded to there's some kind of something coming.
We'll be working together.
We'll be working together. We'll be working together.
We'll be talking.
You see what I'm saying?
We'll be doing.
Exactly. So there's some sort of mutual something there. Because one part of the business is no stronger than the other. It's almost like a human body, right? So if you looked at Karina as the bottom part and you looked at Carmen as the top, Carmen is the head, the shoulders, you know, the abdomen, etc. Karina is the legs. Girl, she's the feet, she's the, you know, whatever. You can have somebody who's good at keeping the books, who's good at the operations, who's good at HR, who's good at making sure the employee's schedule is done, who's good at taxes, who's good at all of that, inventory, who handles all of that. You can have somebody who's good at all of those things, but not one of those things matter if you don't have nobody generating revenue into that Shopify. You understand what I'm saying?
So you ain't got no interview to keep up with. I mean,
no
inventory.
Exactly. You understand what I'm saying? So both people have a very critical set of skills that's essential to the business. That is essential to the business. Because herein lies the people, and I would be bogus if I started name calling. There are some people online who have a gazillion followers, and they people show up when they push the button.
Absolutely.
But I have seen them literally say, there was one girl on Instagram, she don't be on Facebook. This girl literally, she did something with clothes. This girl literally closed her own website and was like, I can't because I got to go over here and pack. I'm like, sis, hold on. Wait. You don't cut off the cash register because you got to go over here and pack orders.
Girl, that's like putting your check through the paper shredder.
Exactly. I said, girl, what you doing? Girl, you forcing the people to choose another option. You understand what I'm saying? So when you look at these situations, you can't put more weight on one side than the other. The perfect business owner is a person who can effortlessly balance both, but that's a unicorn.
Yeah, that's few and far between.
That's a unicorn. You see what I'm saying? That's a unicorn. But that's my take on how we got here. Because there was a lot of people in the comments that was like, all this drama jumped off in 2022. We in 2023. Why bring all the drama, etc.? Well, there's several reasons, right? And it's not to bring any drama. Now, and what I will say is this. I feel like as best she could, Karina was very tactful.
Yeah.
Huh?
I feel like she was, you can tell that she was mindful about what she was saying, what details that she was giving, to make sure that she wasn't speaking negatively, like in a nasty manner.
Yeah.
But I did feel like she seemed nervous and she felt a little flustered. And I think it goes back to what you said about her not really being that public face, that public figure. Like, she don't really do that type of stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think that when people try to say, oh, we wouldn't have even known who you were if it wasn't for Chef Carmen, well, that's because she's just not in the public eye. That doesn't mean that she wasn't doing her thing. Because some of the things that I learned through this interview was her background. Yeah. Like, I knew she was always in business. I knew she was about her business. I knew she had a lot going on. But to know about her food truck businesses and her concessions and all that, to know like her background, I was like, she's not new to this. She's true to this. Yeah. She just wasn't in the public eye.
Yeah. Okay. And let's get out our feelings. Let's just deal with reality, right? Carmen is excellent at social media marketing, being the face, being the brand, all of that, right? Hands down, this is her lane. Okay.
Yeah.
The business, running the business, baby, we don't want you in the boardroom, okay? Love you, mwah. We don't want you in the boardroom. Right. We don't want you in the boardroom. Karina, the opposite, right? We want you in the boardroom, sis. We want you looking at the books. We want you making the sound decisions. We want you managing the money. But sis, we don't want you over here in the media department, okay? You see what I'm saying? And so with all of that being said, I had a conversation with Carmen at the beginning of all of this. Here's where I'm going to demonstrate my value. Here's where I'm going to demonstrate my value. I'm going to tell you. I had a conversation at the beginning of all of this with Carmen. And I said, Carmen, I said, look, I said, here's what you have. I understand you feel how you feel. I understand Karina feel how she feel. I have not had an opportunity to speak with her. I said, but here's what I think. I don't care what happened. I'm not picking no sides. But here's what is very obvious. You have a multi-million-dollar brand that you guys have now built. You have 2 Black women who are from the rainbow community, okay? You have reached a level of success, and now the decisions that everybody make, they're going to have to live with forever. Yeah. Because once you open Pandora's box, you're not going to be able to close it. I said, so whether you do it with me or whether you do it with somebody else, what I strongly recommend that you do is swallow your pride, get out your feelings, call Karina and say, look, we need to sit down. We need mediation. I said, if you and your feelings and you don't want to work with her, and she and her feelings and she don't want to work with y'all, and y'all can't come to a meeting of the minds, and you're telling me that y'all have 50-50 ownership, because all the details that later came out, we've been knew all of that. We've been knew all of that. You understand what I'm saying? I said, so here's what you need to do. You need to work with somebody with a business coach, and I will literally handhold and introduce you to somebody who will walk you through this full process. You need a business coach that is going to help you guys set this business up so that over the next 12 to 24 months, you can sell this business, right? You guys have heard me say it on other videos. When you're looking at an online store, this is why we started ours. When you're looking at an online store, you build that thing up and you can either A, pass it down to the next generation, or B, the next thing you could do is you could sell it. And so last year this time, businesses that size were selling for 3 to 5x what they do on a gross level. So let's just say we talking about a $3 million business over there. Let's just say. So you mean to tell me that they could have sold this $3 million business for $9 million? For $15 million? But here's what we have now, family. Now, e-commerce businesses, some of them, depending on the industry, are selling for 15 to 20x. You know how real estate, how you buy a house and the value of your home go up? That's what's happening in our industry. Why? Because stores are closing and y'all shopping online. And as y'all shopping online, you making store owners wealthy. You understand what I'm saying? This is why I help people start their online store and grow it. So I'm telling her, I'm like, y'all need to get out y'all feelings and say, hey, the common goal between both parties is yeah, I don't want to do business with you. You don't want to do business with me. You know, we've reached our peak. But to say, all bullshit aside, let's continue to move this thing forward, automate it, and then shop this around to what's called a business broker. Yeah. But there's a lot of things you got to do to make sure that business is ready to do that. But now, because everybody was in their feelings and nobody wanted to talk about the real conversation, now you have a business that probably was here, but now it's here, right? And so now they're trying to get back here. Mm-hmm. But can you get back here with all of the damage that's been done? Yeah. Can you get back there? That's the bigger question. Mm-hmm. And that's yet to be determined. Yeah, yeah. And I think that's the reason why Karinas said, because if you notice in the interview, she said when I came on, it wasn't quite a thriving business yet. She was like, it was a lot that had to be done. And so she was like, that's the reason why we decided on 50-50, because there was a lot that I was going to have to do on the business aspect to get it to that point, which may have been what she was thinking about anyway. Perhaps selling in the future, who knows? Yeah, yeah. But she said it was a lot. It was a lot of work that had to be done. Yeah, because I know, because we had put one of our videos. On the YouTube channel, and some lady got up under the video and was like, "Well, if that's your friend, you know, seemed to me like you would be coaching her." I said, "Whoa, sis, hold on. Let me tell you something. Slow down, sis. Slow down. I understand that's your perspective, but let me tell you something about humans, okay? You can give people all the advice in the world, but you cannot argue with a made-up mind. You understand what I'm saying? Think about y'all kids, or maybe even when we were kids, how our parents was trying to tell us something. When you got a made-up mind, you already know which direction you're going, and there ain't nothing nobody could say or do that's going to change somebody with a made-up mind. Absolutely. She was not listening to nothing nobody was saying. If she wasn't listening to her child, her business, no, like, girl, she had a made-up mind. Right, she definitely wasn't going to listen to Candy. So. Girl, please. Do you know how many times I called and was like, well, let's do it like this. Think about this. Do this. Do that. I asked Carmen for an interview months ago. When this first jumped off, I said, hey, let's sit down. I said, the people got questions. There's things they want to know. All of this other stuff. One thing fell out the bag. Then the next thing fell out the bag. Then the next thing fell out the bag. Then the next, and I was like, you could have got ahead of this. When you put yourself in a position where everybody is telling your story, then when you come back, you look, it looks like you on the defense. You see what I'm saying? But when you operate in transparency and you lead wholeheartedly with just saying, this is what it is. You see what I'm saying? Nobody can tell your story better than you. Yeah. But absolutely, I don't know. Yeah, but I just feel like so one of the things that I did notice that some people were saying was like, well, why don't you have Carmen on there too? And you've always said the best way to get to the nitty gritty of a situation is to have all parties involved in the same room. In the same room. I think that perhaps would have been an awesome idea. Yeah. But would all parties have been willing? That's the thing. So you saw, you know, Ashley was there, Karina was there, so the missing link was Carmen. But I don't even know if that was, I don't even know if that olive branch was even extended. But I think that would have been amazing, because then everything could have just been addressed right there. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. But that's a fact. But let me see, what else do I have here? I'm sorry, go ahead. Did you still have some more? No, I was just reading through everybody's comments. I agree with a lot of what's being said. Absolutely. Absolutely. Michelle said that Darius asked Carmen for an interview and she declined. Yeah. We asked for an interview, she accepted, but every time we followed up, it didn't go anywhere. Yeah, it didn't go anywhere. And that's fine too, right? That's fine too. It's one of those situations where, hey, maybe out of sight, out of mind, or maybe after things started to die down, she reconsidered and was like, you know, I'm moving past all of that. All of that is fine and dandy, but then what happens is, when all of these different, you know, elements of the story fall out the bag, you've now lost your traction to be able to lead with your own story. You see what I'm saying? To be able to share your own perspective. But I don't know. Yeah. Let me see. I'm trying to see, because I had a lot of stuff on here, but I don't want to really address anything. Oh, I do have a question for you and the best friends. So there was some information that Karina shared about, you know, when she found out the information about Carmen's significant other. I'm going to do that because, you know, what have you. And that some information was shared by the assistant that was brought back to her.
and it later came out that she gave that information to Carmen. So I have a question for you, and I don't know if anybody noticed this or picked this up. One of the pieces of information was that there was some photos sent over to Karina. And I'm not gonna go into too much detail because I don't want nobody being like you slandering la la.
What kind of photos? Because that's when I was driving. In my defense, that's when I was driving Caleb home from practice.
So I'm gonna say what she said, and then I'm gonna see if you pick up what I'm putting down. She said there was intimate photos with the person who introduced them. Intimate photos of Carmen's significant other with the person that introduced her to Carmen. Okay? And then it was later said...
Okay, let me write this out because I'm slow. Okay, intimate
photos with Carmen's significant other.
Okay.
With the person who introduced them, meaning the ones that introduced Carmen and her significant other to each other.
So right here?
Mm-hmm. And so I wanted to know, because it was stated that
Keisha said, I just cleared it up.
Put it out here.
I just cleared it up for anybody who's confused. Okay.
So it was brought to me, and she shared the information with her friend, because Karina was like, I have to make sure my friend knows this. If you're going to be pursuing a relationship with this person, you need to make sure you know what's going on. And it was stated that she didn't know that they had dated.
Who didn't know? They did a live. Who didn't know? Okay, so I missed something. Again, y'all, this is the truth. Our son plays travel baseball. He had practice. So I didn't know where the conversation was going to go. And then my son was talking to me in the car. So I turned this off until I got home. I missed this part.
Yeah. So there's one thing that I do. I listen to details. Like when I hear stuff, it makes me reflect back to what else I had in my mental Rolodex and my file cabinet from before. So when she said that Carmen was not aware that they had dated in the past, I then went back to my file cabinet and opened it up, and I could have sworn that there was an interview, that there was a live done between Carmen and the person that we're talking about.
Daz me play too much. She said, this is too funny. I'm not even trying to be funny. I'm trying to get to the bottom of it.
So I'm just trying to figure out
what happened.
Was the live like a real live? So I'm trying to ask best friends. Like, I'm trying to make sense of that piece. Because sometimes when you're trying to put puzzle pieces together and it don't quite, but you're like, but it looked like it fit, but then it don't fit, and you be trying to. So I'm just trying to figure out what you think.
Okay, so just to be clear, this is what I think you're saying. Somebody brought intimate photos to Karina and said, hey, Carmen's girlfriend at the time
is in these pictures.
With somebody that she used to date.
Yes.
The somebody that she used to date is the same somebody who introduced them.
Yes. But when the information was given to Carmen, she said she didn't know that they dated.
Well, how you didn't know? And you said that they introduced you, that she introduced you. So did you not know that they dated, or you did know that they dated? Is that like?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Am I missing this?
Because how could you not have known if you did a whole live saying that, oh, that was so long ago when we dated, and I introduced them to each other.
Because I don't want to misspeak, and I don't want us to misspeak. Because our credibility is everything to us. So if we have it wrong, I want to make sure, because that's a critical detail.
It is a critical detail.
Is that important?
Well, it's about business. I just want to respond.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, because that's a critical detail. So did they introduce him or not?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. And I'm just trying to figure out, was the live that was done, was it...
Was it staged?
Was it... Somebody said the marble's not marble.
Exactly. Dana said it. Now Dana hit the nail on the head. Let me like this. Dana said, just because somebody introduced you don't mean you knew they dated. You see what I'm saying? Just because you can introduce me to, you know, whoever. And you,
it could be information that was left out, but that's not how the story was laid out. So I don't know. That was the only thing that made me pause. Well, I mean, there were several things that made me pause, but that was one of the things that made me really sit and think for a minute. Like,
this is what's stirring in my spirit. And I know I'm going to get a lot of backlash for saying it, but all I can do is give what was given to me. Okay? And y'all know when I get like this, I go.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
You know when I get like this, I go. So I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say this with love, and whoever don't feel the love, then it just is what it is. I pray that Carmen sees this video. And Carmen, sis, I pray that you don't end up on an island, sis, without a boat, without a train, without a plane, by yourself. Because there's a dangerous thing that happens oftentimes. And maybe I'm speaking because it happened to me, right? When I was younger and I was dating a young lady, she came into my life and I fell head over heels in love with her, and it was a very toxic relationship. And I looked up, and a year later, I wasn't talking to my family, my friends. I had fell out with everybody. And it's something that happens where people isolate you. And I'm not saying that this is the case. But from what I heard in the interview, Karina was like that boat in your life. When you hit those low points in your life, she showed up for you. And she was that boat. She came to your rescue, friend. She came to your rescue. And what I also heard was Ashley seemed like she was like that plane, right? She came in. I don't care nothing about the angry faces.
Y'all be all
What
right.
you gonna do to a free black woman, huh?
Y'all be all right.
You understand what I'm saying? But Ashley sounded like, based on how she showed up in the role that she played, it sounded like Ashley was that airplane for her. And so what happens oftentimes that's very, very dangerous is when something go down and you look up and you don't have anybody. You on that island, you done lost your boat, you done lost your plane. And I urge you, and it's not no, hey, I want the best for you. If that's what you want, I want the best for you like the next person want the best for you. But don't ever, and this is to everybody watching, don't ever put yourself in a position where you isolated from everybody else. And you look up and your relationship with people no longer looks like it once did. Because we operate over here in facts, not feelings. And the one thing you cannot argue with is when something go down, it can't the fuck be everybody else and not you. You see what I'm saying? You have to get out your feelings and say, there's gotta be some common denominator and we gotta figure it out, right? So with all that being said, could it be a situation where you can still have your happy ending over there, but you also work to rebuild over here with your people? You understand what I'm saying? No human being is designed to be isolated. And when you put yourself in a position where you're isolated, then everything else is reliant on that relationship working out. And it's very much so like putting too much weight on a bridge. Y'all ever do that experiment? We did it in high school where you build a bridge out of popsicle sticks and you put that weight on there. And then if that one weight can sustain it, then the teacher will give you a bigger weight until that bridge crushed. And your grade is based on that weight. Your relationship is sustaining more and more and more and more weight. You understand what I'm saying? The more strain everybody else is from you. It can't be everybody else. Now, here is the truth. And again, I don't care, right? Like, the angry faces don't move the needle for me, right? Like, that don't, girl, your finger gonna hurt, not mine. You understand what I'm saying? But here's the reality of the whole situation, y'all.
I can't say nowhere that made me upset on me.
Girl, I can't. Girl, who? Girl, who?
Goodbye.
Girl,
have a great night.
You understand what I'm saying? understand what I'm saying? Like, who does that? Like, girl. But it's one of those situations, y'all, where Sean and I haven't talked to Carmen in a while. And there was some best friends that was like, oh, did you see Carmen's new smile and Carmen this and that? Yeah, of course I seen it. And we want the best for her. And we love her. You know, if she blocked me, then it is what it is, right? But it's one of them situations where I told y'all, the consistent thing about Candy and Sean and everything that we do is we operate in truth. We operate in truth. And I can't be friends anywhere. I don't care if it's you, me, the dog, the cat. I can't be friends anywhere that I can't express myself. Yeah. If our friendship is contingent on me siding with you, then sign me out. Sign me the fuck out. You understand what I'm saying? I cannot be a part of any conversation, any clique, any group, any friendship, any romantic relationship, any family relationship. I can't be anywhere with anybody where I can't speak free. Or if I can't tell you how I feel or what I think, you make me feel some kind of way, or you cut me off, or I'm dismissed. Won't be me.
And the fact of the matter is, everything that we've ever said on any of our lives regarding the situation, she knew, and we said it to her face.
Exactly. So so for all the naysayers and all the people with the angry faces, let me tell you something. There's at least 3 sides to every story. Okay? At least 3 sides to every story. We were the ones, Sean and I were the ones that did the first video about Carmen. Way back when this whole situation first jumped off. We did the video not knowing who was going to be on the video, how many views was going to get, the video was going to get, because we had just did a La Truth video when that whole situation jumped off. And no shades to Carmen or nobody else, but them people got millions and millions of followers. So if that video only got a couple thousand, we just literally was talking about what was trending like we do all the time over here. Okay? So when we did the first video, we had no idea the video was going to go the way it did. None.
No type of anticipation, no expectations, no nothing. We was like, well, let's just talk about stuff like we always do, because people be wanting to know what we got to say.
None. Okay? That next day, Sean was live on our other page for our business. Sean gets a call. She came upstairs and was like, hey, we had a missed call. Carmen called. Okay, cool. We talked to Carmen a couple years before when we was doing the Candy and Sean Awards. And so Carmen was one of the people that was nominated for Best Cooking Show, right? And so she had our information. We had her information. And so when we called her back, it was a situation, we called her back, and I don't think she didn't answer right away. That's what it was. She didn't answer right away. So Sean was getting ready to walk out the room, and then the phone rang again. Carmen was calling. Can I tell what happened?
Sure.
Carmen was calling.
We shared it before anyway. I mean, we shared part of it.
Sean said, hey, Carmen, Candy's right here. Let me put the phone on speakerphone. Sean puts the phone on speakerphone. I looked at the phone. I said, the phone said conference call. I'll let you sit with that. The phone said conference call. So the initial part of the conversation was, it was very much so defensive, like, well, why you didn't text me and say you was gonna do a video? And I was like, text you for what? And so she was like, why you didn't just tell me you was gonna do a video? And I told her, I said, well, we just did a video about what everybody was talking about. Like, did you see the video? And I can't remember, did she say she seen it?
Yeah, she said she saw parts of it.
She said she seen parts of it. So then, shortly after that video, she was like, hey, you know, you guys, basically, since this is something that everybody's talking about, I would encourage you guys to keep doing more videos. So me and Sean tells her, we like, well, it's up to you. Like, we really don't have to keep talking about it. Right. We talked about it that one time, and so as far as we're concerned, we could be done with the whole thing. It was Carmen that kept coming back. And y'all was in our comments like, why y'all keep talking about it? Leave the drama alone, all this other stuff. It was Carmen that kept calling us saying, hey, y'all should keep talking about it. This is going on. That's going on. Talk about this. And so me and Sean got something we looking like, We talk about money, business. We talk about how we going to improve our money on this page more than we talk about everybody else's. Everybody else's is just the icebreaker of the conversation that we really be having over here. So I was like, what? But I said all that to say, let's go back to the conference call, okay? Everybody's always talking about who's betraying who and who's doing what behind whom's back. Who was on that phone?
We'll never know.
When you was in Atlanta, and your girl was in Texas, who was on that phone? Who was listening to the call that you did not make us aware of? See, that's what I'm saying. It's always 3, 4, 5, 10 sides to every story. And even after that, when everything was going on, and she seemed like she was depressed and everything, Sean and I were calling and texting every single day. 7 days a week. You okay? Do you need anything? Are you good? You need to go to counseling. I seen you on the video yesterday. You scaring me. You making me nervous. Why? Why were we doing that? We didn't have to do that. Why were we doing that? We were doing that because we genuinely cared. Number one, we genuinely cared. We wanted her to be okay. And number two, I had just went through in August, a suicide scare with one of my closest friends. So I kept seeing her when she was in Atlanta and she was going live. Y'all remember the live that we did when we were downstairs in our basement? Remember when she brought us on her live? You understand what I'm saying? And so I just kept seeing, and I kept saying, Carmen, we got to get you back in the kitchen. Y'all remember? We got to get you back in the kitchen. We got to get you back doing whatever. Because I was trying to help her pull from a dark spot. Yeah. Now, she never gave us any indication. She never said, well, hey, this is what I'm thinking or this is how I'm feeling. But you be very careful on social media when you jump into people's comments and you talking about you betraying this person or you doing this, that, and the other. You don't know what this thing look like. Outside of the 30 minutes, hour, 2 hours, 3 hours that you see in people. Exactly. You see what I'm saying? We showed up for her. I remember it was Sean's birthday. And my best friend is in the comments because I seen her earlier. She flew from Texas. She's staying up by O'Hare Airport. Me and Sean are driving to get her because all of us are going to dinner. And I'm steady telling Sean, check on Carmen. I just want to make sure she okay. I don't want to start our night and we get into the night and then I forget. And because I don't know if anybody else is checking in on her. We didn't have to do that. We didn't have to do that. And I'm not saying that we need a medal or we need an award, but people quick to tell you what you didn't do and how you didn't show up. Right. And like I said, I side with truth. And I would say, I know for a fact Karina could have went way further. She could have really it could have got nasty on that interview.
I just feel like she genuinely cares for Carmen.
And even
and
with everything,
may not agree with what I'm saying, but you can tell.
Yes.
When a person has restraint.
Yes.
And they've been attacked and all those things, and they still have restraint.
That part.
Not badmouth or talk about somebody negatively. That's because a person cares. Think about people that, date each other and stuff like that, and they be having knockdown drag-outs, but they don't badmouth each other. It's because they care about the person, even though it's not good and they're not in a good spot. I think that showed to me.
Yeah. People can say what they want, and that's why I said, again, I don't side with anybody, right? I look at everything that happened and I say, well, where's the truth? Where's the truth, right? And so the truth is she could have if she really wanted blood, she could have really went for broke. And she didn't. She could have, y'all. And she didn't. She didn't.
And I think that's what we saw. When I said she looked nervous and she seemed flustered, I think it was a situation of her battling, like,
what do I share?
What do I share? What do I share? I'm not going to say that. I don't want to go that far. I'm not trying to say this, and so on and so forth. So, and that's, again, my opinion.
Yeah. And then look, y'all remember the interview that was done a couple of months ago where Tay's mom did the interview, and it came out that they were married. You see what I'm saying? We've been...
That's what I'm saying. So when people come over here and they like, y'all don't know her and you messy and you doing this. When I tell you that a lot of the stuff that came out, we knew, but if we were doing stuff for clicks and views, why we didn't come over here and say that?
Girl, we knew before it happened, okay? Like, you understand what I'm saying? Like,
so it is what it is.
Girl. Yeah, I mean, it's insane. It's insane. It's insane. It's insane how situations will unfold and people get so caught up in their feelings. Mm-hmm. And whoever's sitting on here mad, you caught up in your feelings. But if you get out of your feelings and you operate in facts, you'll clearly see the line in the sand. Mm-hmm. You know, but it's just one of them situations where, like I said, I want everybody to be okay. I hope that this situation as it relates to Karina and her business investment and everything, I hope it resolves itself. And I hope that they're able to rebound. Yeah. I hope Carmen is able to find her lane. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? On social media and otherwise. Yeah. I wish her and Tay nothing but happiness. I have nothing bad to say about them. You understand what I'm saying? I want happiness for everybody. I want happiness for everybody on here. Everybody who's going to watch it as a replay and disagree. I want happiness and the best of health to the person who's mad and in their feelings. Girl, I mean,
I just hope that you can relax so you can sleep well. Holding all that in is not good.
Girl, yes. Yeah, Evoya said that's exactly why Karina wanted a prenup. Exactly. And there were so many people who were looking at what was going on, and they were looking at it from the lens of, oh my God, like, why is Karina so involved? She must want Carmen. No, sis had her money in it. You understand what I'm saying?
Business play.
This is a business play. That was a business play, y'all. From the onset, it was a business play. And do you know and understand, like, the mere fact that, now this is another thing. This is another thing, y'all, that bothered me. It was the part where they was talking about the page getting deleted.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so y'all, let's look at this. Now, your page got deleted with the other young lady. Mm-hmm. Then you come over here, and now you got a new one, and then now she got access, and she an admin. Have we not learned? Let me tell y'all something. See, the universe / God will give you chance after chance after chance. And you will find yourself in a bad situation. Maybe you lost some money, or maybe you didn't handle a situation right. Maybe you was in love and you cheated or you did something and you ruined the relationship. Oftentimes God he'll spin that thing back around and he'll put you either in that situation or something very similar to it. And he does it in a way that will allow you to now say, okay, I've dusted myself off. What have I learned? Right. How am I going to move forward, and what have I learned? So you mean to tell me the other lady allegedly deleted your page, your whole page, and now you back over here and somebody else got all access to your page? What are we doing? Mm-hmm. What are we doing?
And it's not to say anything negative about that person. It's just to say, okay, maybe I should be a little bit more cautious.
Exactly.
This time around. No knock against you at all, but, whatever.
Yes. That's what I'm saying. And that's exactly what I'm saying. And again, it's no knock, right? Mm-hmm. It's no knock. It's no knock against Tay or anybody else involved. Absolutely. But it's one of them situations where you gotta say, okay, look, like, is this the best thing for everybody? Mm-hmm. And if I would say, I wouldn't even want access to the page, because I'd be like, you know what? If something go down, the last thing you finna do, ain't nobody finna throw me under the bus. So y'all can have this whole page over here. Mm-hmm. I don't want nothing associated with it. Mm-hmm. So. But it's I don't know. But yeah.
But at the end of the day, I thought that the interview was interesting because I think that throughout all of this, Karina never did share her thoughts and her opinions and her viewpoint and all of that. And so I thought that it was interesting. I don't think that it was, a lot of people saying it was messy. I don't think it was messy. I think that it was time for her to voice her side because she hadn't. She had a little post here and there or something like that, in defense of certain things, but she never really sat down and said anything. So,
Yeah, and thank you very much for the stars, for the best friends that gave stars. It's one of those situations where, like I said at the very onset of the video, this had to happen, right? They built a whole 7-8 figure company off a personal brand. Mm-hmm. And so when you do it, when you build off of a personal brand and you extract that person, you take that person out of the business, then you now have to figure out, what does this now look like, right? And so with all of that being said, I'm going to ask you guys a question. We did a video a long time ago and it upset some folks. So based on that, we deleted it. But on that video, I asked the question. I said, hey, when we watched Kim and Karina go to the game, to the basketball game that night, they both said, hey, we're going to be working together. And Kim said, yeah, I'm going to be doing the marketing.
I'm working on some marketing.
I'm working on some marketing stuff with her. And so then, shortly thereafter, we started seeing Chef Val come along. And I asked the question on that video that is now since deleted, but I do have it downloaded on my computer so I can repost it if I chose to. Just FYI. But I asked the question on that video months ago, and I said, well, dang, are they grooming her to be the new face of I Got You Seasoning? I don't know.
Yeah, we didn't know.
I don't know. But again, we look at everything from a business perspective.
Yes.
We look at everything from a business perspective. And if they are, do you guys think that's a good fit? Do you think it's a good fit? Yeah, do you think it's a good fit?
Thank you for the stars, Miss Keisha.
Thank you very much for the stars, everybody.
And sometimes, you know,
Rebecca said, I was there. I remember when you asked it. Yeah.
And sometimes I feel like, you know, we ruffle people's feathers and we make them upset because we ask questions that other people may be thinking and don't say out loud. And that's okay. That's fine.
We're thinkers.
Yeah. And like, because we're not just going to go with what everybody say. We're not going to have that popular opinion. Like, I'm just going to think what everybody else thinks. No. Because if something goes in my mind and makes me think, then I'm not going to ask questions. And I'm going to be like, well, this is what I think about it.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a couple people saying yes, a couple people saying no. Daphne said fit for who? Is that a good fit?
For the brand.
For the brand, right? So since Carmen is no longer the face of the brand, I Got You Seasonings, would it make sense for Kim and Karina to work with Chef Val to make her the new face of I Got You Seasonings? Remember what I said at the very beginning. A lot of the people involved have what's called crossover following. There's 300 and some odd people, almost 400 people watching live. Some of those people follow us. Some of those people are watching because of the topic. Yeah. Okay? So there's a lot of people that follow us that also follow all of the people that we just named. That's still crossover following. So with that being said, you know, to do these cooking shows on Kim, on the Worthy's page, right? Or to do these cooking shows and to try to put her more in the public eye as a you know, professional, polished image. Would it make sense, or do you think they're grooming her to be the new face of I Got You Seasonings?
Gotcha. Thank you so much for the stars, NTP. Some people are saying no, they should leave it faceless. Yeah.
But okay, so my follow-up question is, if they leave it faceless, how do you brand that? How do you market that? How do you brand and how do you market a faceless seasoning company? Now, Lori's and McCormick, all of them big companies can do it because they have a multi-million-dollar marketing budget. You know, but for a small business, how do you market it that way? I don't know. I'm just asking. I'm just asking questions to start getting people to think different. I don't know. I don't know. Because a lot of times when we see these things happening, label changes, you know, decisions being made in business, etc., a lot of people want to jump to the defense and they want to lead with emotion. And so this is the page where we say, let's slow down. Let's lead with facts. Yeah. Let's leave the emotion out of it. Let's lead with facts. And then once you have the facts, then usually you're able to check your emotions.
Yeah. You can make more logical decisions.
Yeah. So, but yeah, Chrissy said a rebranding campaign. Exactly. And so I really think this interview, if I could be honest with you, I think this interview was designed to be the start of a rebranding campaign. Yeah, this was the start of a win-back strategy. To me, that would have been part of what I advised. Mm-hmm. But yeah, there's definitely going to be more to come. Wow. Yeah, just my 2 cents.
Well,
you got anything else?
I don't. Just friends, for those that were sitting up waiting, now y'all can go to bed. You can put your curlers in your hair, put your cold cream on your face, put your bonnet on. Yes, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So I'm going to give you what's called a call to action in business.
Come on, call to action.
I'm going to give you a call to action. The call to action is always the point in the service when somebody asks you for something, right? Mm-hmm. So if you're at church, this is when they open up the doors and they extend the invitation to Christ. This is when on this here page, this is where I ask, if you're not liking and following this page, you're doing yourself a disservice. Hit that like button, hit that follow button. We would certainly like to welcome you into the family. Yes. Over here, we're best friends. Mm-hmm. So the people in the comments, you will see other best friends, and a lot of them know each other because we meet here very, very often. Yes. Sometimes more than one time a day, and then sometimes at least, usually at least once a day or so. But we talk pretty frequently over here, and when we do, we give a lot of value. Mm-hmm. So hit that like button, hit that follow button if you like what you heard. If you didn't,
still come back, because you still might learn something.
Girl, yes. Absolutely. So, you said did you have anything else? I'm sorry.
I don't. I love you guys for the best friends that have been with us for a while. We love you. For the potential new best friends, we welcome you. Like we said, we don't always agree over here, but we just do it respectfully. So,
That's it.
Make sure you turn your notifications on so when we call you, you can answer. And I will let Miss Candy close us out.
So as we always say, the absolute best is yet to come, but baby, we got some quality time to do.
Good night, best friends.